Guys, good morning, how we doing? I'm Ryan Mack, welcome back to Trading Guys. Today we are going to fly through fundamentals, as always. We might have a quick look at technicals and probably we might have a look at a couple of pairs on here. If we get any good fundamentals, like good, strong and weak biases, we might then have a look at a particular pair and just come across here. We won't go through every pair, right? There's no need to do that. We can see up here it's currently mentioning that market sentiment is a strong risk off. So, if it's a strong risk off, right away, immediately in your mind, what are you thinking? You should be thinking, that would mean buy gold, buy silver, buy Japanese yen, buy Swiss franc, buy New Zealand dollar, right? So it doesn't mean you buy them right away, okay? You need context with trading, but right away in your mind, that's like a little alarm. I should be looking at these pairs, right? It doesn't just mean jump straight in and fucking start buying, start buying all of them, right? But it means you could be looking for potentials in those risk-off assets. You know what I mean? Excuse me. So let's jump across. We've done quite well on this. In fact, I had like 5 accounts that I was trading. We've done quite well on AUD CHF last week. Pardon me. So, let's have a look. AUD, Chinese Yuan Renminbi, and NZD. Remember, get your notepad and pen out. Where is my bloody pen? Look at that. One of my best mates over here actually got me a Mont Blanc Trading Guys pen. Quite a nice birthday gift, wasn't it? Excuse me. So, as always, currency strength. Alright, you're going to write that at the top. Down below it, you're going to write strong. Sorry, weak. And then neutral. Excuse me. So as you know, I do every single economy / currency pair, currency individually, apart from AUD, Chinese, and NZD, right? And that's because they're all very closely correlated. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. Let's have a look. AUD is doing quite well, but let's have a look at this last week's numbers. Bearish, bullish, bearish CPI year on year for China, PPI. It's increasing, but it's still bearish, right? MI inflation expectations bullish for Oz, bullish. I know it's decreased, but it's still above 50, so it's bullish. Visitor arrivals, bullish. New home prices, bearish. Bearish. Bullish. And that's bullish. It's red because they thought it was going to come in at, what's that? I don't even know what that fucking number is. Is it 5,000 billion? Some of that is. And it came in at 4,710 billion, but it was previously 910 billion, right? So it's massively increased. Going to fly through this, what we got for next week. GDP, PPI, wage price index, we want to see if that increases, yeah. Official cash rate, they don't plan to change rates. Unemployment change for Oz, employment, we want to see that. Yeah, so there is a fair bit of news this week coming up that we want to see, okay? So for me, just now, AUD, I'm still keeping in strong because it is quite good. If it starts to get weaker, we could start to move over to neutral later, but for now, it is still quite strong. Weak is NZD. However, remember, with NZD, yes, the economy is weak. It's really shit. However, when it's in risk off, NZD will gain strength because it's a safe haven currency. Okay, so this is where trading isn't just very black and white. You might be like, right, it's weak. Oh, that must mean sell. Yeah, well, it does mean that, but what else do we have to take into account? We have to take into account market sentiment. Is it risk on or risk off? If it's risk off, then yes, you'd be looking to sell any pairs against, you'd be looking to sell NZD and buy any pairs against it, right? Any strong pairs against it. But because it's risk off, it doesn't even matter if it's NZD, USD. If it's risk off, it will show that NZD is flying. You think, fucking hell, why is that flying if the economy is weak? It's because of the risk on, risk off market sentiment to do with safe havens, okay? And money flowing from riskier assets into safe haven assets, okay? Neutral, I'm just going to put CHF in neutral right away. It's just always neutral. The reason for that is based on data, CHF is always neutral. CHF again is we trade it, buy it, or sell it based upon market sentiment. If it's risk on, you'd be looking to sell CHF. If market sentiment is heavily risk off, you'd be looking to buy CHF. Okay, that's it. It's dead simple. Just money flows. Let's have a look at CAD. I mean, CAD, I can already tell you right away, it's weak, so I'm putting it in weak without even looking. But we will look because we want to see, right? Building permits increased, bullish, that's it. So there wasn't really much news last week. This week we've got quite a lot of news for the Canadian dollar. We've got CPI, foreign securities purchases, wholesale sales, month on month, trade balance, yep. Core retail sales, yep. So we've got quite a lot that we want to see coming up this week for Canadian dollar, okay? But it's weak. Remember, Canadian dollar is closely pegged to oil, right? So if oil's going up, then Canadian dollar will go up. So you might see some mild strength here. However, look, don't get so engrossed in your smaller time frames and be like, oh man, oil's flying. No. Always remember this. If in doubt, zoom out. And look, you can see our area's been hit again. Boom, reject. I really want to see come a bit higher, to be honest. But I'm still 100% sales in oil. Look, it's bearish, right? It's not... This part's bullish. If you're scalping and stuff, that's fine. But for any long-term trades, you're best just waiting. Boom, enter it, and away it goes, right? So that's the way I base it. Obviously, if you're a scalper or, a day trader where you're going to enter a trade in the morning and close it, 5 hours later, well, yeah, of course, that's going to be bullish for you, okay? So, again, you need context. Maybe if you're a scalper or day trader, that's going to be bullish for you. If you're a swing trader like me, it's bearish. I'm not taking any buys. I'm just waiting to hit either this zone or this zone. Then I'm going to enter the sell, and away we go, right? Simple as that. CHF, we don't even bother looking at it, look, because it's shit. The data never changes CHF. That's why we always put it in neutral, and we just have to remember in our minds, are we going to be buying it or selling it? And that's based on risk on, risk off sentiment. What we got here? Euro. Bullish. Bearish. Bearish. Bullish. 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 What we got next week? German final CPI, Italian trade balance, French final CPI. We've got quite a fair bit of news. Have we got any rate expectations? No. We've got PPI, manufacturing, French and German. Flash manufacturing, okay. So yeah, we've got a fair bit of news we want to see next week. Same as last week. I'm going to keep Euro in neutral. And we'll see what happens, okay? Still kind of on the fence with it. Sometimes it can be weak bullish, sometimes it can be weak bearish. That's why I've got it in that neutral, because it's just it isn't giving us enough to be solidly weak. It isn't giving us enough to be solidly strong. So that's why I've kept it neutral. Some weeks it'll be a little bit to the left and the right, in between those two, weak bullish and weak bearish. So we'll keep an eye on that. Where are we? What's next? Let's have a look. GBP. This is going to be quite a quick one today, thank God. Pardon me. Governor Bank Daily speaks. BRC retail sales year on year is bullish. It's increased. House price balanced. Why is that -10 in green? That's came in better than anticipated. Okay, so it has increased and it's came in better than this. But I mean, it's still minus, but it's came in better than anticipated and better than before. GDP month on month, bearish, stagnant. It's bearish because it thought it would come in higher, and it didn't. Construction output. That's actually bullish because it's came in higher. It's increased, but it hasn't came anywhere near expectations. Okay, so that is bad news. So let's just say that's bearish. Goods trade balance, bearish. Index of services, bearish, 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 bearish. Yeah, so pound's pretty shit. Pound was had a shit week, I should say. Claimant count change, we want to see that this week. CPI, yep. Core CPI, yep. Tons of news here we want to see this week and see where it's going. Pound is going to remain in neutral for me. I'm going to keep it in neutral. However, I'm kind of swaying. Last week it was more like weak bullish neutral. This week I'm kind of swaying more weak bearish neutral. However, we want to wait and see what this news brings as well, right? So that's why we keep it in neutral, because it's for something to go into weak and something to go into strong. It has to be, solid over the last couple of weeks or so, and the whole bigger picture is like, yes, this is really growing or it's really dropping. Overall, it's not just based on a good or bad week. But in the short term, I would say potentially Euro and GBP this week are potentially, weak bearish. Okay. However, of course, they come under the category of neutral. Right, let's move on. Japanese yen. I already know Japanese yen's weak. However, Japanese yen's weak right away. However, what do we need to remember? It is a heavy risk-off market sentiment. What are the risk-off pairs? Japanese yen, New Zealand dollar, Swiss franc, gold, silver. All right. They are safe haven currencies. The USD is actually both a risk on and a risk off currency. It is a safe haven currency. However, because all of the uncertainty around the world right now is coming from the US, that's what makes it the risk. The risk on asset for the time being. If the risks were coming from elsewhere in the world, then the USD would be a safe haven currency in amongst those other safe haven currencies. All right. So again, context is important. You need to understand the bigger picture. Nothing in trading is ever just black and white. You have to pair and match things up to get the full story. Right? It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Pardon me. Right, Japanese yen. Average cash earnings has increased, so that's good. Don't be fooled that it's red. It's only red because it came in lower than forecast, right? But it's much higher than previous 1.7. So people are earning much more money this year. Sorry, far more money, I should say. People are earning far more money this year than what they were earning last year, right? So that's a good thing, because if you're earning more money, you're going to buy more shit. If you buy more shit, you're stimulating the economy. If you stimulate the economy, the currency gets stronger, right? So that's a good thing. Bank lending has increased. That's a good thing, because if more people are borrowing money, what does that mean? More people want to spend that borrowed money on a load of shit and then pay it back over however many years, and that stimulates the economy, which is strong for the currency. Current account, bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, 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 bullish, bearish. All right. This week we've got GDP index year on year, territory industry activity, trade balance, core machinery orders, national core CPI, flash manufacturing. Yeah, we want to see all this, right, and see if it's getting better. But it still wouldn't move it to strong yet. It's still weak, okay? But like I said, it is a risk-off currency. So you may look at USD Japanese yen and it starts melting. And you're like, well, he said, USD was strong and Japanese yen was weak, so that should be a buy. Yes, it should be a buy when you're looking at it from that perspective, right? But market sentiment is risk-off. So money will be moving from the US to a safe haven currency, which in that scenario would be the Japanese yen, all right? So therefore, USD Japanese yen would be sells in the short term. What we got here? Let's go back. Small business index. Okay, USD. Let's just fly through this. Bearish, bullish, bearish, 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 bearish. Yeah, bearish. Wait, import prices. Business inventories, bearish. Bullish, sorry. Bullish. 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 Bearish because it's came in less. They just thought it was going to be 222. It came in at 227, right? So it's marked red. Don't get caught out by the colour of it. The red and green means fuck all. Look at the numbers, right? 232 was the previous. Unemployment claims have dropped, which is bullish, okay? Don't get caught out by the colour fucking red. Existing homes, bearish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bearish, okay? So I'm going to put USD, I'm going to keep it in neutral, okay? USD neutral. So right now, all I've got is strong AUD. Now, for the short term, like I said, you could remember in your mind that NZD and stuff like that could be strong this week, okay? But I'm talking about an economy strength here, okay? When we're looking at strength on the screen, we have to take into account, I've said it about 20 fucking times now, market sentiment, right? And I keep pounding on about it because it's very important to combine all this together to get the bigger picture, right? If you buy 1,000-piece jigsaw and you put 3 pieces together, can you see the jigsaw puzzle? No, of course you can't. You need to put every fucking piece together to see what the picture is, right? And it's the same with trading, guys. These are all just little pieces of the jigsaw. You need to put it all together for the full context. Be like, okay, so overall, it's weak fundamentally. However, we're on high risk off. There's a lot of geopolitical unrest. When I looked at the news today, like for example, look, we've got a news feed on our Discord. Look, news feed, and it gives us instant news about what's coming up. So if I looked on here and I'm sitting here all day and I read it and it's like, fucking hell, President Trump sends troops into fucking Taiwan, you'd be like, oh fuck. So you'd, as soon as you see that on the news, you'd be like, right, bang, I am back. If you go to NZD USD, you'd be fucking buying that right away. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. So it's things to take into consideration. So my list today is AUD strong, weak NZD, CAD, Japanese yen, neutral CHF, Euro, GBP, and USD. Okay, I'll do it one more time. Strong AUD, weak NZD, CAD, Japanese yen, neutral CHF, Euro, GBP, and USD. Okay, just remember, Euro and GBP, even though they're in neutral, they might be along the lines of neutral to weak bearish or neutral to weak bullish, right? It's very wishy-washy. The lines are quite blurred just now. Let's have a look at PMT and see what this is. I found something else, by the way, on this prime market terminal, which is fucking phenomenal. I think they must just be going through it. Look, bank trades, they must just be updating it, right? So when you look on here, wait, I'll move this out your way. When you look on here, right, it tells you what trades the banks are in. It literally tells you. It tells you their entry, tells you their take profit, and it tells you where the stop loss is. So look, this bank, London Stock Exchange Group, Thomas Reuters, They've already moved their stop loss to break even. Look, it's fucking amazing. We had another one, AUD CHF. Look down here. Their entry was 5. I mean, you can click on it and then you can see it here. It tells you right here. Look, take profit set here. Where's their oh, there you go. There's their entry, there's their stop loss, and there's their take profit. So they've already moved their stop loss, right? Fucking brilliant, honestly. Now, again, you can't just look at this and think, oh, I'm just going to copy that trade. Because remember, these guys have got fucking huge accounts. If you were to, when this had its stop loss previously, for you to have that stop loss, you would need a really large account, to trade a lot size. It was going to give you a lot of money based on where they had their stop loss placed, okay? So you don't just want to jump into it right away. These guys are long-term position holders. This is just a good bit of info for you and a good bit of extra reassurance. Like last week, we took about, over the last 2 weeks, I should say, we've been in and out of AUD CHF a good few times. I think we took about 4 trades. I took it on like 5 different accounts. And, it's good when you jump across and you're like, oh, great, because our stop loss was, our take profit was at like 500. And they were at 500. So obviously I just jumped into the lads and I was like, lads, fucking put your take profit to 700. You know what I mean? And give us that longer space to run. But this is a great tool. It's on Prime Market Terminal. If you're someone who has the money and you want to invest in, this platform, it is fucking amazing. The link is down below, and I think you automatically get like a 15% discount or something when you click the link. It's an amazing piece of kit. I always say to people, because there's some people don't have a lot of money, right, and they're flapping. First of all, if you don't have a lot of money, you don't have to worry about this kind of stuff just now. What's this? Notification alert user. Okay. You don't have to worry about this kind of stuff. It's an added extra, okay? Stuff that you can do without having a lot of money is fucking learn how to read these, right? Forex Factory and Economic Calendar. Learn how to read these, and it will give you the same advice. But if you want that, if you're trading large sums and you want that solidity, then obviously this is a fucking great piece of kit. Especially if you want to see what retail traders are doing and so on. Look at this right now. This is retail traders, right? So if AUD NZD, if they're in sells, right, then ideally you want to be fucking buying that, because what do you call them? Retailers are basically the liquidity for institutions, right? So you want to be doing the opposite of these guys, because they're always fucking wrong, right? They're always wrong, I'm telling you. What else have we got here? Is it bias? Where's the... Let's have a look at the bias here. See if I can... There we go. So USD, weak bearish, I've got it in neutral. Weak bearish, I've got it in neutral. Weak bearish, yep. CAD, weak bearish, yep. AUD, strong, yep. NZD, weak bullish. NZD, weak bullish. As I mentioned, look, fundamentally, right? Fundamentally, it's saying they're very bullish and so on. Bearish, very bearish, bearish, neutral, uptrend, bullish, very bearish. What's that based on? Factory activity, consumer confidence, rising prices, economic growth. And let's have a look here. And they don't, have they even mentioned, let's have a quick look, have they even mentioned risk off? They haven't even mentioned it, I don't think. But yeah, you could be trading, like I said, based on risk off, guys, you could be buying this. I personally wouldn't, because I think the economy's wank. It is showing good signs of growth, but it hasn't shown enough for me to be like, right, I'm going to enter this and I'm going to leave it for the next 4 months. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. It's not done that. We've got Japanese yen, weak bearish, yep. CHF, weak bearish, yeah. So, pretty similar. Pretty similar, guys. This is a good device as well down here, look. Wait, I'll move this, look. Gauge overview, AUD Japanese yen, strong sell. You know, it's fucking brilliant. That'll be to do with risk on, risk off sentiment. And strong sell, look, AUD, they're saying it's a strong sell. weak bullish, Japanese yen, weak bearish. So if you look at that, you'd be like, well, that's a buy. But then down here, it's telling you it's a strong sell. Why is that? It's because of the whole risk-off sentiment again, right? Safe haven money flows. That is the reason behind that. Anyway, there's tons of stuff in here. It's fucking amazing. It is amazing piece of kit. We've got COT as well. It tells you what the banks are in. So yeah, good stuff. Anyway, guys, look, I'm going to wrap it up now because we're at 25 minutes. I've got a super, super busy day today. And yeah, I hope you find this stuff useful. If you want genuine guidance and mentorship, this is our trading group here. I'll just quickly show you it. The link is down below if you want to join us. Look, here's one of my guys. Actually, the funny thing is, Andreas joined us from watching like one of my first ever YouTube videos. He came across and joined us. Look, my week with demo account so far, only one loss which could have been prevented. He does actually have a live account as well, but when you're going to jump up and increase your lot sizes, you have to kind of prepare yourself for that mentally, right, and build the confidence. So he also has the demo account as well. But look, where are we? Brilliant. That's a great week. Lovely, mate. Only one loss which could have been prevented. Look at that. Fucking superb. I think he's been scouting. Oh, sorry, I know why this is. Because Andreas is like me. Andreas is predominantly a swing trader. He likes to hold his trades for longer periods of time, exactly like me. However, whenever we are waiting for trades to come in, we give scalp trades on gold, and he was always like, I don't know if I want to scalp gold, because obviously it's dodgy, right? So he's practicing scalping gold. That's why here he's done the demo account. Here's Jevons, fully closed, 115 quid. What's this? He's up again. Yeah, insane. Trading view flows. Looks at my trading view show. Okay, what's this? The fuck is going on with gold? Saying course is refreshing like every 10 seconds in MetaTrader. Okay. What's this? Jeff. Here's Jeff. He's up £143, £435, and had a 142 loss. You can see all the trade results in here, guys. Look. There's Alex up at 4.5 grand. Jevons up 428. Big Brian. Lee. Jevons again. Me. Alex. Jevons. Usually get Big Anthony as well. So here it is. Look, we have got... What else have we got here? Starting from the beginning. I have got a full A to Z trading course in here. I actually sell the trading course separately, but if people come into my group, then of course they get access to all this, right? This is starting from complete beginners, and then I go on to fundamentals and so on. When it gets to around here, I then cover all the fundamentals that you need, right? Absolutely everything that you can imagine is covered in this course. Whenever I take trades, I give you the signal in here. Look, every time I take a trade, I give you the signal. And here's a trading chat. All right, and this is my business partner Lee, and he gives like scalp setups. We don't give signals for scalps because that's impossible. By the time we've typed out and sent you it, you've missed the fucking trade, you know. But we give the setup so you can get prepared beforehand, and then when the candle breaks a certain level, you know, okay, buy this now or sell this now. Okay, so the link for this is below. The link for if you want to join us on Discord is below for full mentorship. I also do live trading from time to time, so whenever I'm going to trade, I will do it live in the group. And if you want to invest the money in a device like this, a platform like this, Prime Market Terminal, the link is also below, and you get a great discount as well. Okay, so much love, guys. Be safe, don't over risk, don't over trade. Have a great weekend, and be safe next week. All right, take care. Bye bye.